Good morning, all my dear students. Today, in this video, we will start our next topic, chapter number 9 from History, Independence and Partition of India. So students, in this video from this chapter number 9, Independence and Partition of India, we will discuss the Mountbatten Plan clauses and its acceptance. And with this, the Indian Independence Act of 1947 clauses only. This is our reduced syllabus from this chapter. Introduction of the Mountbatten Plan. His immediate task was to restore peace among two warring sections, the Congress and the League, both in his executive council and in the country at large. For the purpose of taking necessary steps for the transfer of power to the Indians, Lord Wavell was recalled and Lord Mountbatten was appointed the new viceroy. While taking the charge, he found that it was difficult to solve the deadlock between the two parties. He realized that Cabinet Mission Plan was unworkable and a partition of India was inevitable. Discussion of plan. Before partition of India, he put his plan in front of the big seven leaders Nehru, Patel, Kripalani, Jinnah, Liaquat, Nishtar, Baldev Singh. Please underline these names and learn it properly. Both Jinnah and Congress accepted the plan. It was mentioned in the acceptance of Mountbatten Plan why both the parties accepted that plan. So the plan was announced on 3rd June 1947. On the same day, Gandhiji said, "I repeat that the division of India can only do harm to the country's future." Next topic is the main points of the plan. First one is partition. The country would be divided into two dominions, that is India and Pakistan. Second point is relation between the two new dominions. It was for the two dominions to decide what relation they would have with the British Commonwealth. Third one is a boundary commission. The plan provides for a creation of a boundary commission to settle the boundaries of the two dominions. Fourth one is the princely states. They would be free to associate themselves with either of the dominions or to remain independent. Fifth one is Bengal and Punjab. The partition of Bengal and Punjab was proposed provided that the legislative assemblies of two provinces decide in favor of partition. Sixth point is Sindh. The Legislative Assembly of Sindh was to take its own decision at a special meeting. Seventh point is North-West Frontier Province. A plebiscite was to be held in the North-West Frontier Province to ascertain whether the people wanted to join India or Pakistan. Next one is the district of Sialhat. The Muslim majority district of Sialhat was to decide by referendum whether it would join East Bengal or remain in Assam. Next topic is Constituent Assembly. The existing Constituent Assembly would continue to work, but the constitution framed by it would not apply to Pakistan. A separate Constituent Assembly would be constituted for those parts of India. Last point is transfer of power. The plan ended with the declaration that the transfer of power would take place not in June 1948 but much earlier than that. The British Parliament would pass an act for the transfer of power before August 15, 1947. Students, you have to learn any 4 points from these 10 points Mountbatten Plan clauses. Now, we will start acceptance of Mountbatten Plan. Plan received with mixed feelings by the public. The Muslims of the League were not fully satisfied with the way Pakistan was divided, but they accepted the plan for partition. All India Congress Committee accepted Mountbatten Plan because, according to Maulana Azad, the Congress had no other alternative. Main points of acceptance are: first is large-scale communal riots. In the wording of Sardar Patel, refusal of the demand for Pakistan will amount to dividing country into so many Pakistans. इट मीन्स बेटा, उन्होंने कहा कि अगर आज हम पाकिस्तान और इंडिया को 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड नहीं करेंगे तो हमें इंडिया के हर गली मोहल्ले में एक एक पाकिस्तान मिलेगा, क्योंकि इतनी ज़्यादा नफ़रत इन दोनों कम्युनिटीज़ ने आपस में क्रिएट कर ली थी। ये एक दूसरे को देखना भी पसंद नहीं करते थे, इसीलिए पार्टीशन ज़रूरी है और हमने माउंटबेटन प्लान को एक्सेप्ट किया। सेकेंड पॉइंट इज़, experience of working with the League had convinced the Congress that it could not have a joint administrative with the League. Third is a federation with a weak center. A smaller India with a strong central authority was better than a big state with a weak center. It means बेटा, वो कहते थे कि अगर हम आज भी इनको अपने साथ जॉइंट रखते हैं तो ये टाइम टू टाइम हमें अपनी डिमांड्स के लिए प्रेशर आउट करते रहेंगे, फोर्सफुली हमसे अपनी डिमांड्स को फुलफ़िल करवाते रहेंगे और हमारा सेंटर पावर जो हमें मिलेगी वो वीक हो जाएगी। तो बेटर है कि इंडिया को 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करके एक स्मॉलर इंडिया लिया जाए और सेंटर को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाया जाए जहाँ पे किसी तरह का कोई प्रेशर ना हो। नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज़, द ब्रिटिशर्स वर इंस्टिगेटिंग द रूलर्स ऑफ इंडिया to remain independent. Hence, partition was the price for immediate independence. इसमें वो हमें ये बता रहे हैं कि ब्रिटिशर्स हमें प्रेशर डाल रहे थे कि हम आपको फ्री करना चाहते हैं, हमसे फ्रीडम ले लो। अब हमें फ्रीडम मिल रही थी, हम छीन नहीं रहे थे, मांग नहीं रहे थे, अब वो हमें दे रहे हैं। तो देने की वजह से क्या हो गया कि हम उनसे लेना चाहते थे, तो जल्दी से जल्दी फ्रीडम लेने के लिए हमारे यहाँ पे कम्युनिटी वाइज पार्टीशन होना ज़रूरी हो गया था। Next point is, the leader felt that further delay in the transfer of power could find India in the midst of the civil war. Some leaders felt that the partition would rid the constitution of separate electorates and other undemocratic procedures. India could then involve a truly secular and democratic policy. The next topic is Indian Independence Act 1947. After the Mountbatten Plan was accepted by the Indian leaders, the British Prime Minister introduced the Indian Independence Bill in the House of Commons. The bill was passed by both houses of the British Parliament on July 1, 1947. The main provisions are: first point is the 2 new dominions. India would be partitioned and 2 new independent dominions, India and Pakistan, would be created. The act provides legislative supremacy of both the dominions. The exact boundaries of the dominions would be determined by a boundary commission. Second point is provisions of partition. Both Bengal and Punjab would be divided if so desired by the people. The provincial assemblies of the 2 parts would meet separately, representing Hindu majority districts and Muslim majority districts. A plebiscite would be held in NWFP as well as the Sialhat district in East Bengal to determine whether they would like to join Pakistan or India. Both these provinces joined West and East Pakistan respectively. Third point is Governor General of each dominion. There would be a Governor General who would be appointed by the British King on the advice of the cabinet of concerned dominion. Fourth point is constituent assemblies to serve as central legislature. Both the dominions were to act as a central legislature and would have full powers to make laws for their dominion. Next point is end of the jurisdiction of the British Parliament. Princely states. The princely states would become independent. All the powers exercised by the British authority were to be terminated. Next topic is treaties and agreements. With effect from August 15, 1947, His Majesty government would cease to have any responsibility for the government of India. All agreements and treaties between the British government and rulers of the Indian states would lapse. Division of army and the assets. Provisions were made for the division of the Indian army between the two dominions, and steps were taken to share the assets. Bringing the act into operation. The Governor General was vested with necessary powers for bringing the Indian independence into effective operation. Last point is Office of the Secretary of State and interest of existing officers. Provisions were made for safeguarding the interest of the existing officers appointed by the Secretary of the State. The Office of the Secretary of State for India was abolished. In the end, the bill is unique in the history of legislation of this country. Never before has such a large portion of the world population achieved complete independence through legislation. The act marked the end of the British rule in India. Lord Mountbatten, on the request of the Nehru, continued as the British Governor General of India. Muhammad Ali Jinnah became the Governor General of Pakistan. Lord Mountbatten remained in office as a Governor General up to June 1948. C. Rajagopalachari succeeded him as the first and last Indian Governor General. Dr. Rajendra Prasad took over as the first President of India Republic, and the Constituent Assembly became the Parliament of India. Students, read this chapter carefully. If you have any doubt, you can message me, call me between 9 to 1. Thank you.